ปิปัจฉิมาจนะตานุคัมปมานาสาอิเมสัคคาเรตุกตาปนาคาราปุเตปฏิกันหาตุอัปมาคังติกรัตถังหิทายาสุขายาอรหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนะมามิสังฆมายังพุทธัสสะภะคะวะโตปะปะปะกะนะมะคารังคโรมาเสนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะอันตมยังพุทธานุสตินายังคโรมาเสธัมโฆปันนาภะคะวันตังเอวังกัลยาโนทิติสัพโพอะโภคโตอิติปิโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธวิชาจารณะสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิทูอนุตตโรปุริสธัมมัสสารติสัทธาเทวมนุสสานังพุทโธภะคะวะเตอันตมยังพุทธาภิกขิงคโรมาเสพุทธวารหันตปารตาติคุณาภิยุโตสุตาปิญญาณการุณาทิสัมมากัตโตโพเทสิโยสุจนตัมคัมมลังวสุโรวันตามหัมตัปมรณังศิรสาจิเนนังพุทโธโยสัพพปานินังสารนัมเขมมุตตมังปัตตมานุสติทานังวันทามิทังสิเรนังพุทธัสสะสมิตาโสอะพุทโธเมสามิคิสารโรพุทโธสุขัสสะกัตตาจะปิตาตาใจตัสสะเมพุทธัสสะหังนิยาเตมิสาริตรัจจิวินัสจินังวันทันโตหังจาริสามิพุทธเสวะสุโคติตังนาทิเมสารนังอัญญังพุทโธเมสารนังวรังเอเตนะสัจจปะเทนะวัตยังสัจจุสัสสเนพุทธังเมวันธัมมาเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสุตังมิทาสัพเพปิอันตรายาเมมาเหสุงทัสสะเตชะสะ
อายังนวัตเมวัตถิโตวะพุทโธปิตมังสัพพะเมยังพุทโธสัพพะมัตโตเจนชังกาลันเตสวะมิ
อันตุมายังธัมมานุสัตถินายังคารมาเสสวาคาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมสันติติโกอาคาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปัญญิโกปัจจตัมเวทิตาโกวินยุขิติอันตมายังธัมมาปิกิติงคารมาเสสวาคาทาตาติกุณโยกัปเสนาเสโยโยมากัปะกัปะริยาติวิโมกะเปโตธัมโมกุโลกัปปัฏฐานาทัตตาริตาริวันตามหังธรรมหารังวารตัพมะเมตังธัมโมโยสัพพปานิสารนัมเขมมุตตมังตุติยานุสติทานังวันนามิตังสิเรนะหังธัมมาสาหัสมิตาโสวะธัมโมเมสามิคิสารโรธัมโมสุขัสสะคาตาจะปิตาตาจะอิตาสเมธัมมาสาหังนิยาเดมิสาริรันจิปิดันจิดังวันตันโตหังจาริสามิธัมมาเสวะสุธัมมตังนาติเมสารนังอัญญังธัมโมเมสารนังวรังเอเตนะสัจจวะเทนะวะเตยังสัตตุสาสเนธัมมังเมวันดัมมาเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสุตังนิทัพสัพเพปิอันตรายาเมมาเหสุงตัสสะเตจะสา
ไอนวัจจยะเชตสวะธัมเมกุตมังกุตมยายังธัมโมปฏิกานาเตเตนตังกาลันเตเรสุวัยตุสัมเม
อันตมายังสังฆานุสตินายังคารมาเสสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอุจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาญาปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามิจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาติทังจัตตาริปุริสยุคานิยัตตาปุริสปุคลาเอสะภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนโยภาหุเนโยตาคิเนโยอัญจาริกรัณโยอนุตตรังปุญญาเขตังโลกัสสาติอันตมายังสังฆาปิกิติงคารมาเสสัทธัมมาโจสุปฏิปัตติคุณาติยุโตโยธาปิโตอริยปุคลสังฆเสโทสิลาติธัมมะปะปะราสยกายจิโตวันตามหังธัมมาริยานาคานังสุสุดัมสัมโฆโยสัพพปานินังสารนัมเขมมุตตมังตติยานุสติทานัมวันตามิตังสิเรนะหังสังฆาสาหัสมิตาโสวะสังโฆเมสามิคิสารโรสังโฆสุขัสสะคาตา cha pitata chaitasave Samkasahang niyademi saritram chipidan chidam Wantam toham charisami samkaso patipanatam Nati me saranam anyam samko me saranam para Etena sachapatena Vatayam satu sasre Samkam me vandamman ena Yang punyam pasutang itap Sape pihantaraya me Mahesum dasate
So Pachikampa Chvatyantam Salam Pare Novari Prabhupada.
Did you want to do another? You have the 5 reflections or the metta chanting? For the aging, death, and then the ahang sukito homi, the metta.
Page 42 of Hindi. 42. Page 42. Alice number. Then suffusion with divine abiding. पहले हम 42 नंबर पेज पढ़ेंगे, फिर 34 नंबर. 34 पेज. This is in both Pali and Hindi. The other one is either in Pali or in Hindi.
You choose.
Hindi or Pali.
Hindi, okay.
Start page 42.
Five subjects for frequent recollection. बार बार अनुस्मरणीय 5 विषय. अन्धमयं अभिन्नापच्च वेखन्न पाठम भनामासे. आए हम बार बार विवेचन योग्य पाठ करें. जरा धम्मो ही जरं अनतीतोति. व्याधि धम्मो ही व्याधिम अनतीतोति. मैं व्याधि धर्मा हूँ, मैंने लेफ्ट आउट वन. मैं जरा धर्मा हूँ, मैंने जरा को पराजित नहीं किया है. मैं व्याधि धर्मा हूँ, मैंने व्याधि को पराजित नहीं किया है. मरण धम्मो ही मरणम ही नाना भावो विन्ना भावो. सभी मेरे प्रिय, मुझे प्रसन्नता देने वाले मुझसे दूर हो जाएंगे, बिछड़ जाएंगे. कम्मस्य कोम ही कम्म दायादो कम्म योनि कम्म बंधु कम्म पटिसरण यम कम्मम करिष्यामि कल्याणं वा पापकं वा तस्य दायादो भविष्यामि. मैं अपने कर्मों का स्वामी हूँ, कर्मों का उत्तराधिकारी हूँ. कर्म ही मेरी योनि है, कर्म ही मेरा बंधु है, कर्म ही मेरी शरण है. मैं जो भी कर्म करूँगा, कल्याणकारी व पापकारी, उसका उत्तराधिकारी बनूंगा. एवं अम्हे ही अभिन्नम पच्च वेकितव्यम इस प्रकार हमें बार बार विवेचन करना चाहिए। अब वो सार्वभौमिक कल्याण का विवेचन है, 33 नंबर पेज, 33 पेज हिंदी में पढ़ेंगे। सार्वभौमिक कल्याण का विवेचन। आए हम मैत्री भावना को सभी ओर व्याप्त करें। मैं सुखी हूँ, दुख से मुक्त हो, वैर से मुक्त हो, द्वेष से मुक्त हूँ, चिंता से मुक्त हूँ। मैं सुखपूर्वक अपना संरक्षण कर सकूं। सभी प्राणी सुखी हों, सभी प्राणी वैर से मुक्त हों, सभी प्राणी द्वेष से मुक्त हों, सभी प्राणी चिंता से मुक्त हों, सभी प्राणी सुखपूर्वक अपना संरक्षण कर सकें। सभी प्राणी दुख से मुक्त हों, सभी प्राणियों की संपत्ति उनसे दूर न हो। सभी प्राणी अपने कर्मों के स्वामी हैं, कर्म ही उनकी विरासत है, कर्म ही उनकी योनि है, कर्म ही उनका बंधु है, कर्म ही उनकी शरण है। जैसे भी कर्म करेंगे, कुशल अथवा अकुशल, वही उनकी विरासत बनेंगे।
Meditation. Commencing with some breath meditation, awareness of breathing, anapanasati. Giving the interest, placing the awareness, knowing the feelings involved with in and out breathing. Aware of the feelings involved as they change moment by moment, and trying to know the entire in-breath, the entire out-breath, and resting the mindful awareness in the body, in the spaces in between, not restraining the mind from thinking about the past, thinking about the future, other people, other places, simply resting in the present moment, giving the interest, the attention to the feelings of the breath. And once again, we'll do some metta bhavana, beginning with a compassionate consideration. As in your life lately, any conflicts, any sense of frustration, struggle, and not thinking of the details in particular, but rather just acknowledging this human experience. What's it like to be a human being, subject to the laws of karma, with defilements that become active in the mind, and delusions, ignorance, pushed around by greedy energies and aversive energies, and various types of confusion and drowsiness. Frustration, the struggle. And we open the heart with compassion. We make the simple wish, may I be free from suffering. Responding with kindness, not judgment. Recognizing a deeper potential, we wish to realize the potential. And breathing in, make the wish, may I be well. And breathing out, may I be free from suffering. When we make the wish, may I be well, we're offering a quality of loving acceptance of things the way they are, of goodwill, loving friendliness. And then recognizing a deeper potential, we wish ourselves to be free from all of these frustrations and challenges. Sincerely wishing. Breathing in, may I be well. Breathing out, may I be free from suffering. With the metta bhavana, we're allowing our capacity to be kind, to be warm, to be loving, and offering this to oneself, one's own experience, very sincerely. So from the very center of the heart area, loving friendliness, loving kindness, goodwill. And breathing in, may I be well. Breathing out, may I be free from suffering. Holding the heart of loving kindness in the chest area, allowing it to penetrate, radiate, permeate, suffuse the heart and mind and chest. Breathing in, may I be well, may I be happy. Breathing out, may I be free from suffering. Including including other beings in the meditation now. On the in-breath, on the in-breath, generating the warmth of loving kindness, holding it in the heart. On the out-breath, allowing it to spread outwards. And breathing in, may I be well, may I be happy. Breathing out, may everybody here today be well, be happy. And breathing in, may I be free from suffering. Breathing out, may everybody here grow to be completely free from every type of suffering. Breathing in, may I be well, may I be happy. Breathing out, may everybody in the meditation hall be well, be happy. Breathing in, may I be free from suffering. Breathing out, may everybody here be free from suffering. Now coming back to knowing the feelings in closer detail, looking more closely at the feelings of the breath. Train in placing. Balance between trying to be mindful and resting. Placing the mindful awareness on the breathing and then resting within the awareness, allowing the mind to be gathered and still, cool. So knowing all of the feelings involved with in and out breathing, the beginning, middle and end of an in-breath, space, beginning, middle and end of an out-breath, another space. Just five more minutes to go of the meditation. Placing that mindful awareness, training the awareness to rest with the feelings of the breathing. We try to begin the meditation well. We try to maintain sincere effort. And then we try to finish the meditation well. For the last minute or so, recollecting the meditation and contemplating Dhamma, chanting, all of these activities produce good karma, punya, merit, and we can dedicate merit, share merit. You can think of some people you might wish to dedicate merit, share blessings, and parents, grandparents, teachers, brothers, sisters, children, all beings as you see fit. If anybody needs the bathroom, we can have a 5-minute break.
Monastery. Accept nothing.
Yeah. Significant questionnaire on their website. I think it's
Find it in the forest.
I'm not sure. Not a Western. No. First Sangha is mostly a sea branch monastery.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a Wat Marp Jan branch monastery. But if you search that, the Tan Ajahn Anan monastery.
I'm not there yet.
Those two are good for beginners. He does have foreign links. Yeah, so people that speak in English. What are you going to do in India?
Monastery. Yeah. You can drink.
Stay healthy.
I'll try.
Stay healthy.
ब्रह्मा च लोकाधिपति सहम्पति पतंजलि अंगवीरम अयच्छा संदिग्ध सत्ता परजक्ख जातिका देशे तु धम्मम अनुकंपिमम भजम.
So I thought this evening I'd talk a little bit about a sense of perspective and particularly of recognizing good fortune. Obstructions. We have some complicated karma, irritation in relationships and challenges at work. One laywoman just asked me, as a monk, you don't have a family, you don't have work colleagues, what do you practice with? You know, life must be so easy and peaceful. And I nearly choked. I think, wow, that would be nice, wouldn't it? As an abbot who lives as a Western monk, I have a part of a community with, I think, 33 overseas branch monasteries. As a Western monk that lives in Thailand, I'm part of a community of 300 monasteries. And there are issues in any community, and a lot of brothers, a lot of uncles, a lot of fathers, a lot of grandfathers, and is the human realm. Even the monastery is in the human realm. And monks have a good set of conditions that we can practice with. We do have more time to meditate. And supportive companions, oftentimes. But there are always, in the human realm, conflicts, disappointments, association with the disliked, separation from the liked.
मंत्री जी बता रहे हैं कि आज हम एक अपने दृष्टिकोण के बारे में बातचीत करेंगे और हमारा जो सौभाग्य है इस जन्म का उसके बारे में बात करेंगे कि किस तरह की अब हमारी बाधाएं आती हैं और किस तरह से अपने रिलेशनशिप्स में व्यवधान होते हैं. एक साथी ने पूछा था कि आप एक भिक्षु हैं, ना आप कोई परिवार है, ना आपके कोई दिक्कतें आती होंगी, तो आप किस तरह से साधना का सामान्य जीवन में परिपक्व कर पाते हैं. तो कहते हैं कि मुझे लगा कि सचमुच कितना अच्छा होता अगर ऐसा सत्य होता. तो अपना उदाहरण देते हुए बता रहे हैं कि मैं पश्चिमी देश से आया हुआ थाईलैंड में रहने वाला भिक्षु हूँ और वहाँ का एक मॉन्क एबट हूँ एक मोनास्ट्री का, जो कि 300 जीवन में होते हैं, वैसे ही भिक्षुओं के जीवन में भी होते हैं. हमारे भी बहुत सारे जो कम्युनिटी हैं, जो समाज है, उसके साथ हम जुड़े हुए हैं. कई चाचा लोग, कई भाई लोग, कई भतीजे लोग, सब लोग हैं. और उन सब के साथ काम करने का वही परिस्थिति रहती है जो गृहस्थों के लिए रहती है, क्योंकि एक बौद्ध विहार भी जो है, एक मोनास्ट्री भी ह्यूमन एक मनुष्य रेल में ही है और हमको वो सब कंडीशंस उपलब्ध रहती हैं जिससे कि हम अपनी साधना को परिपक्व कर सकें.
One challenge that we face is to keep a healthy sense of perspective, of context. And so religious practice, a spiritual belief system. And both my parents had some uninspiring experiences with Christians when they were growing up. And so they made a decision that their children could not go to church and should not be exposed to religion. My parents said to me as a young boy, you can choose a religion if you want one when you're 18 years old. And the next thing they would say was, but I can't see why anyone would want one. So it was a very materialistic, I think they call it a materialist annihilationist. There's this assumption that there's just this life, and at the end of your life you die, and that's it. And there's these sayings that you hear in Western countries sometimes, you only live once. And I don't believe that. But when I was a child, my parents believed that. So I believe because of past practice, there was a sense of missing something and longing for something, a sense of refuge, which I did not have for 19 years, even longer, 20 years. And there were ways that I found that I could be a little bit peaceful, probably because of past meditation habits. I'd go to the beach with my sisters as a little boy, and this was before we knew what a problem skin cancer was going to become in Australia. They used to sunbathe for hours, and they even used to rub coconut oil on their skin so they could get the perfect golden brown color, which you guys all have, without sunbaking. So after I would swim, and then make sandcastles, and then wrestle with my brothers. And as you'll all remember, when you're a child, time goes by much more slowly. And so it just seemed like forever that my sisters were sunbaking, and so I would lie down on a towel, stretch out in the sun. And at those times, having played, having swum, having fought, having been restless, the mind would become somewhat still while listening to the sound of waves. So there's the Pacific Ocean in Australia, on the east coast of Australia, is vast and deep, and the sound of the waves breaking, sometimes 20-kilometer beaches and waves breaking, you can't listen to just one wave. If you try to listen to the sound of the waves, it can take consciousness to a very expansive sense of space. And so that was probably the beginning of my meditation practice. I was listening to waves with choiceless awareness, and some feeling of being somebody would somehow fall away, and some feeling of communion with nature and of well-being. So very grateful that in my childhood at least I had the beach. If I didn't have the church or the temple, I did have the beach. And then when I attended the Vipassana retreat and listened to Goenkaji's Dhamma talks at the age of 20, I was so grateful when, I can't remember his words exactly because it's a long time ago now, but I do remember he talked about the Four Noble Truths. And see, I'd had this intuitive feeling growing up that my parents didn't know what they were talking about, and my teachers didn't know what they were talking about. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life because I couldn't find something worth doing. And my parents would ask, "What are you going to do?" And I would say, "I don't know." And then when I'd ask, then they would ask, "What do you mean you don't know?" And I would answer, "I mean, I don't know." And that was not the right answer. And so I was accepted to go to university, but I rejected the offer, made my parents cry. And then I got a job with the civil service. I had a very strong feeling that university was not going to work for me, that 12 years of education hadn't made me a content or happy person with a sense of purpose. So I couldn't imagine how 4 or 6 more years would. So I couldn't bring myself to sign up for it. So then I sat the exam for the civil service, and I must have done fairly well because within a month I had a job, which I quit after 1 month because it was so boring. I had to answer the phone. Department of Education, Vocational Education, Industrial Training, how can I help you? No, sorry. Department of Education, I quit. Made my parents cry again. So then I thought I might be an actor. So I studied some acting, studied some singing, and then I had the feeling I don't want to be a product. I don't want to compete with other products. And there's this fantasy that if you're a performer, you get to express creativity, and it's not really the way it goes. In the beginning, you just have to do whatever is available, and that might mean, bad advertisements for corporations you don't trust, and so it's not that inspiring. And but I fortunately wound up sitting the Goenkaji retreat in Blackheath in the Blue Mountains, and when my response was, "It is dukkha. It is unsatisfactory." And before that, all I'd heard was, if you get the right partner, you'll be happy. If you do the job that you like, you'll be happy. And I could see that that wasn't going to make me happy. So on day 8 of the Goenka retreat, my mind experienced a quality of peacefulness. Until then, it was just pain. I'd never sat on the floor like this my whole life, and sitting on the sofas watching television. And I had done some white light meditation while lying on bed. So I was thinking, 10 hours a day of meditation, lying down, visualizing white light and fluffy clouds or whatever. Sitting on the floor for 11 hours, knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain. Mr. Goenkaji, start again. Start again. With a calm and quiet mind. The problem was, my mind was not calm, my mind was not quiet, my mind was miserable and in pain. But anyway, somehow, on day 8, there was the experience of the pain seeming to disappear. So probably what it was some samadhi and the mind coming inwards, but how it was experienced was the pain fell away, and I experienced a sense of coolness and fullness and peace. And there was a recognition. It probably only lasted a minute. I'm not even sure if it lasted a minute. And but there was a very important recognition. This is what I'm looking for, and this is something that I can trust. This is in fact something I could commit my life to cultivating. So when Mr. Goenkaji said meditation practice is like anything, if you want good results from it, you have to be disciplined. Like athletes train, performers rehearse, meditators must meditate every morning, every evening, an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. So I did that for about 3 months, and then it became 1 hour a day for the next few months, and then it became 45 minutes a day, and then it became 20 minutes a day. But after 2 years, as a result of meditating daily, I started to have strong intuitions about going to Asia. And I might let Mr. Da translate.
एक जो हमारे जीवन में एक चैलेंज सबके रहता है कि एक सेंस ऑफ पर्सपेक्टिव रहे, हमारे एक हेल्दी सेंस ऑफ पर्सपेक्टिव रहे, तो उसके बारे में वो अपने जीवन के दृष्टांत से बताते हैं कि हम उनका जीवन में ऐसी परिस्थिति नहीं थी। बचपन में माता पिता जो थे उनका रिलीजियस रुझान नहीं था, वो चर्च से ज़्यादा प्रसन्न नहीं थे, तो मुझसे कहा था कि जब 18 साल के हो जाओगे तो तब तुम जो समझ आए वैसा रिलीजन चूज कर लेना। लेकिन उनका तात्पर्य यही था कि जो भौतिकवाद का सिद्धांत रहता है कि एक ही जीवन होता है और उसके बाद सब समाप्त हो जाता है, तो उसे एनाइलिज्म कहते हैं। तो इस तरह के परिप्रेक्ष्य में जब वो उनका बचपन गुजरा तो कुछ तरीके बचपन में ढूंढते थे। तो उदाहरण दिया उन्होंने कि अपनी बहनों भाइयों के साथ वो बीच पे जाके रहते थे। जब बहनें सन बेदिंग करती थी तो वो जैसे सामान्य बच्चे खेलते हैं वहाँ पे खेला करते थे रेत से। और एक बात जो उनको पसंद आती थी बहुत कि जो समुद्र की लहरें होती हैं उनकी आवाज़ सुनने की आवाज़ बहुत अच्छा लगता था। और जब उसको सुनते थे तो स्वाभाविक है कि एक उसमें कोई एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं होती, तो वो एक चॉइसलेस अवेयरनेस का अनुभव सा रहता है। तो जिससे ऐसा लगता था कि आप प्रकृति से कम्युनिकेशन कर रहे हैं और वो एक बहुत ही अच्छा सुखद अनुभव उनके लिए बचपन का था, याद है उन्हें। तो बताते हैं कि इन्होंने पहली बार जो साधना उससे काफ़ी उनको अच्छा लगा वहाँ जाके। इन्होंने बताया कि उससे पहले वो स्कूलिंग करने के बाद यूनिवर्सिटी का एडमिशन मिल गया था, लेकिन उनका मन नहीं था क्योंकि उन्हें लगा कि वहाँ जाके कुछ और नई बात सीखने को नहीं मिलेगी। वो सिविल सर्विस का एग्ज़ाम भी दिया, लेकिन थोड़े समय नौकरी करके उसको भी छोड़ दिया और फिर कुछ समय एक्टिंग और सिंगिंग उसका भी अभ्यास किया। तो जो गोयनका जी का जो शिविर था उससे काफ़ी उनको अनुभव हुए। जो शुरू में तो काफ़ी दिक्कत थी, काफ़ी पेन जैसा हम सबको अनुभव है कि शुरू के दिनों में, लेकिन 8 दिन के बाद उनको काफ़ी कुछ ऐसा अनुभूति हुई, सुखद अनुभूति हुई। जो शरीर में कष्ट थे वो सब कम हो गए और एक चित्त शांत हो गया। तो उनको लगा कि हाँ यही एक मार्ग है जो मुझे आगे उसकी भावना करनी चाहिए। तो वो बता रहे थे कि जैसे गोयनका जी ने कहा कि सुबह शाम ध्यान करना चाहिए, तो उन्होंने वैसे शिविर के बाद 3 महीने तक वैसे सुबह शाम 1 घंटा ध्यान किया, लेकिन जैसा अधिकतर लोगों के साथ होता है धीरे धीरे वो अभ्यास कम होता चला गया। और लेकिन इस 2 साल के अभ्यास से उनको एक भावना जागी कि मुझे ईश्वर जाना चाहिए, वहाँ जाके देख के आना चाहिए।
So a point I wanted to make was when we find these disciplines, this tradition of Buddha Dhamma and this path of Dana, Sila and Bhavana that points us in the correct direction, how to begin to eliminate such as greater illusion and how to bring forth the peacefulness and wisdom, how to contemplate wisely. We are among the most fortunate beings in the universe, and so one challenge we have is, and I can recollect very easily what it was like not to have that refuge, even in a very abundant situation. In Australia, it's a strange place. It's on one level very nice, very orderly. People tend to be quite law-abiding, and you tend to feel safe, and it's very clean and well organized, and everybody's houses are color coordinated and nice gardens. But religion for us was the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus, and there's really no depth to spiritual reflectivity, and so if we consider that to find these particular teachings, wisdom teachings that help you to take responsibility to cultivate your potential is extremely rare and extremely fortunate, because there's a phrase used in the chanting, Dhamma is leading. Sometimes it's translated as onwards and sometimes it's translated as inwards, and it's probably both at the same time. The Dhamma leads onwards from the samsaric situation, and it leads inwards, the place of liberation being your own mind. Sometimes it's described that the Buddha's teachings lead to heaven and beyond. And so with theistic religions, when we pray to a deity, there's a lot of suffering in that paradigm, because one is taught that God is all-powerful, the Creator is all-powerful and all-loving, and we're taught that if we love God, then things will probably go okay. The problem is, very often things don't go well, and a lot of people practicing theistic religion experience a great sense of confusion, because they do love God and they do pray fervently, and then terrible things happen, and they have this dilemma where they're asking themselves, pleading with God, I love you so much, I have faith, I try to be a good person, why don't you help me? Why is this happening to me? It's actually a very painful experience, a very confusing experience. And some people in theistic religions manage to find a way to hold that and can make it work for themselves. And theistic religions do lead to heavenly rebirth if a person has sila and a strong faith and some kind of samatha practice or prayer practice. It's not uncommon for people in other religions to be reborn in heaven. But the problem with being reborn in heaven is when the merit exhausts itself, one has to come back. And so this is a difference between how Lord Buddha explains the truth of the conditioned universe and how some other religions explain the truth. They say that life in heaven with God is eternal, and Lord Buddha explains that no condition is eternal. All conditions degenerate, change. So we've found a path that leads onwards and inwards, a path that leads to heaven and beyond. And that is our incredible good fortune, and that is coming from many great past good karmas, I'm quite sure. So it's good to remember that and to feel fortunate, because we often have a gift for feeling sorry for ourselves. And it's important to understand that having frustrations and challenges, feeling like it's not quite working, feeling that there's obstructive forces outside and inwards, it's important to understand that that's normal. That's samsara. And nobody says that progressing within samsara and going beyond samsara is easy. In fact, everybody says it's not easy, because of the karmas that we've made in previous lives, so many complicating karmas that we've made. So it's very helpful if we learn how to hold our challenges with the right sense of context and perspective. So that even though I might feel that this particular method or technique I haven't realized exactly what I should have according to the theory, or the metta isn't quite working, or I don't quite get this, I think it's good to feel confident that as long as the practices that you're doing fall within cultivating the four foundations of mindfulness, as long as you're contemplating the Four Noble Truths, then you will be progressing, and probably not as swiftly as we would like, but even so, to be in a situation where we have these practices, these teachings, we've met this path, and we are progressing, even if slowly, is a truly wonderful situation. And it's good to feel one's good fortune, because it's the opposite of feeling sorry for oneself. And when one feels fortunate, when one feels blessed, it does give rise to good energy. And this is what we need. We need good energy, so that we can apply that energy and maintain our focus.
अजान में बता रहे हैं कि ये सब जो बात उन्होंने बताई वो इस कारण से बताई कि जो हम सब लोग मार्ग पे चल रहे हैं, दानशील भावना के मार्ग पे, का महत्व क्या है कि इस मार्ग पे चलते हुए कि हम लोभ, दोष और मोह से मुक्त हो सकते हैं, एक प्रज्ञा का मार्ग है। तो हम ये समझाने के प्रयास कर रहे हैं अजान कि हम कितने सौभाग्यशाली हैं कि हमें ऐसा मार्ग मिला है। वो बता रहे हैं कि जो थीस्टिक रिलीजन है, जो ईश्वरवादी वाले रिलीजन है, उनकी परिस्थिति और हमारी परिस्थिति में क्या फ़र्क है। जैसे वो बता रहे हैं कि वो अपने को इसलिए फॉर्चुनेट मानते हैं कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जैसे वो रहे, जहाँ सब सुख सुविधाएं उपलब्ध हैं, सब सेफ्टी है, सफाई है, ऑर्गेनाइज सिस्टम है, लेकिन फिर भी जो रिलीजन है, जो स्पिरिचुअल एंडेवर है, उसमें कोई गहराई नहीं है उसमें। और जो ये इस तरह की विजडम टीचिंग जैसे हमें अब मिल रही हैं, उस तरह की विजडम टीचिंग नहीं है। और ये बहुत ही रेयर है कि किसी को इस तरह का विजडम टीचिंग वहाँ मिले। हम जैसे धर्म के गुणों में हम समझते हैं, औपनयिकों की बात करते हैं, जिसको कभी कहते हैं कि वो आगे की ओर ले जाता है, कभी कहते हैं उसका मतलब ट्रांसलेशन करते हैं कि अंदर की ओर ले जाता है। उसका मतलब है कि हमको केवल जो थीस्टिक रिलीजन्स में, जो ईश्वरवादी रिलीजनों में स्वर्ग की परिकल्पना होती है, तो वो स्वर्ग के और उससे आगे भी ले जाने की बात होती है। जो ईश्वरवादी रिलीजन है उनमें प्रार्थना का और अगर अच्छे शील का पालन हो तो उससे लाभ होता है। लेकिन एक जो परेशानी ये रहती है कि उसमें ये समझाया जाता है ईश्वर ही बहुत पावरफुल है, दयालु है, सर्वशक्तिमान है। तो अगर हम उनको प्रेम करेंगे, उनके प्रति श्रद्धा का भाव रखेंगे, तो हमारी सारी परेशानियां दूर हो जाएंगी। लेकिन कई जो बहुत सिंसियर लोग भी होते हैं, उनकी परेशानियां दूर नहीं होती, तो उससे बड़ा कन्फ्यूजन हो जाता है कि मैं इतनी कोशिश करने, इतनी मेरी श्रद्धा है, शील का पालन भी करता हूँ, लेकिन फिर भी इतनी परेशानी क्यों हो रही है। और वो पुकारता है ईश्वर को कि आप मेरी मदद क्यों नहीं करते। कुछ लोग तो उसमें अपना कॉन्फिडेंस श्रद्धा बना के रख पाते हैं, और ऐसा नहीं है कि उसका कुछ भी लाभ नहीं होता, क्योंकि अगर शील का भाव का पालन करेंगे और श्रद्धा का भाव रखेगा, तो थोड़ा समथ का भाव अभ्यास करेंगे, तो उसमें स्वर्ग की गमन की बात बन सकती है। लेकिन वहाँ जाके भी जो पुण्य कर्म का क्षीण होने के बाद फिर वापस आना पड़ेगा, और फिर वही कहानी चलती रहती है। और यही में मुख्य भेद है भगवान बुद्ध की शिक्षा का, कि वो हमें समझाते हैं कि कोई भी परिस्थिति, कोई भी कंडीशन नित्य नहीं है, सब चीजें अनित्य हैं और बदलती रहती हैं। और इसलिए वो स्वर्ग को भी साधना का अंतिम लक्ष्य नहीं मानते। तो इस बात को याद करके हमको अपने आप को एक सौभाग्यशाली मानना चाहिए। और ये सब तभी संभव हो पाया है कि हमने पिछले जन्म के कुछ अच्छे कर्म हैं कि हमको ऐसा मार्ग मिल पाया है। वो ये बात याद रखना इसलिए आवश्यक है कि सामान्यतः साधक लोग भी अपने आप के बड़ा फ्रस्ट्रेशन महसूस करते हैं कि साधना कर रहे हैं पर लाभ नहीं हो पा रहा, इतनी कठिनाइयां आ रही हैं। तो हमको याद रखना चाहिए कि ये संसार है, और संसार का ये नियम है कि जिस संसार में बाधाएं आएंगी, कष्ट आएंगे, और हमारे अपने कर्म भी इतने कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होते हैं, अच्छे कुछ कुशल होते हैं, कुछ अकुशल होते हैं, उन सब का विपाक भी होगा ही। तो अगर हमको लगता है कि हमारी साधना से हमको जो हमारे मन में उद्देश्य था वही प्राप्त नहीं हुआ, तो उस परिस्थिति में भी हमको याद रखने से ये लाभ होता है कि एक विश्वास बना रहता है कि हाँ, हम अच्छे मार्ग पर चल रहे हैं, हमारे अच्छे सत्कर्मों के कारण हमको ये मार्ग मिला है। हम 4 आर्य सत्यों का, 4 सतिपट्ठान का भाव, साधना का भाव करते हैं, जो कि सचमुच में हमको धीरे धीरे अपने गंतव्य की ओर ले जाएगा। और अगर हमारी प्रगति धीरे हो चाहे ना, फिर भी हमको ये याद रखना चाहिए कि हमारा कितना सौभाग्य है इस बात में। और इसलिए याद रखना चाहिए ताकि हमारे भीतर में धर्म संवेग बना रहे, साधना करने का एक उत्साह बना रहे, और जो निराशा आती है उससे हम दूर हों।
So having met Lord Buddha's teachings, the holy Buddha Dhamma, we are in a very good situation. It's not our situation that we have to pray for a God to help us. We have been given tools and methods, instructions. We've been empowered with these instructions, with these methods. We're in a situation where we can help ourselves. which is really the best situation. And so we are living within a system where karma is very powerful. It's the law with which the universe works. And so very important to produce wholesome, auspicious, good karmas, and to avoid making the negative karmas, because the bad karmas will in our life, and pleasant experiences, good opportunities will increase. So fortunately for us, our Lord Buddha has explained that this path of dana and sila and bhavana is a path that only generates good karma, and it generates enormous amounts of good karma. I'm very confident about this because I could see from when I made my daily commitment in my life to doing the vipassana meditation that I think as a direct result of that, the next thing to progress along the path presented itself. So I had some strange habits for an Australian. I was working at vegan dilemma, and I got so fed up with myself. It's a difficult experience. In those days I used to swim 2 kilometers 3 times a week. I used to do boxing circuit training. I never hit a person, I just hit bags and run up and down staircases and did push-ups, and all of this was so that I could have an attractive body with no fat on it. And so people used to think that I was a handsome young man, and they used to think I was a happy young man because I felt that I should be kind to my customers, so I was kind and friendly. But it used to cause me a lot of frustration that when I went back to my studio apartment, I was quite miserable. And it frustrated me that people thought I was a happy person when I knew that I wasn't. So one night, after washing the dishes and closing up the shop, looking into the smoggy haze of the Sydney sky, which isn't quite as bad as the Delhi sky, I looked heavenward and I said, see, I didn't believe in hell yet, and I didn't believe in an all-powerful creator God, but I did believe in angels. There's got to be something good out there. There's got to be something better out there than this. So I looked heavenward and I said, okay, I admit it. I don't know how to be happy. But if you send me some signs, I promise. Now, I meant this with every fibre of my being. I meant it very sincerely, which is another factor why I'm sure I got a result. But I said, if you send me some signs, I promise I'll follow. So then some interesting things started happening. Somebody forgot a Lonely Planet guide to Thailand at the restaurant where I worked, left it on the bench, and I fingered through the book and I discovered that Thailand was a Buddhist country. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, Thailand, a Buddhist country. And I knew that the Vipassana meditation was a Buddhist meditation. So the lady came back and asked for her book back, so I had to give it back. But then a couple of weeks later, it was payday. In those days, we got cash in an envelope. And so I was opening up my wallet and I noticed a strange coin, and I pulled out the coin and I asked my friend, what's this? And it had cheddies on it and it had a picture of the Thai king. She said, that's Thai baht. And that's the money from Thailand. And I noticed, oh, the Lonely Planet guide, and now the coin. Then another strange thing happened was I used to have to clean the fryer, which was a German fryer making Japanese-inspired food in a macrobiotic restaurant. So there was a piece of attachment pipe that I had to attach, and I hadn't noticed, even I'd been working in the restaurant for a year, I hadn't noticed that there was one word on this piece of galvanized metal. It's blurry late at night, filtering the oil, putting this thing on, and I noticed the word. It said Thailand. And I said, okay, that's it. I stood up. Within 10 weeks, I'm going to Thailand. because I felt that I'd received my signs from the heavens. And so it's very difficult to save money in a place like Sydney. It's a very expensive place, and I was working in a restaurant. So I managed to get my passport, my ticket, my visa, and 2 weeks before I left I had no money. I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work. But I'd made my vow, and I was determined to keep it. So I had to sell everything I had. My bed, my Turkish carpet, my 10-speed mountain bike, my computer. Anything I could sell, I sold. And I got $1,000, which 26 years ago was quite a bit of money. And then I was going. So I think it was about 4 days before I left, a lady walked into the restaurant. She was from Canada. She was a backpacker. She just come and she said, is there work? And I said, well, there may be, because I'm leaving. So give me your details. And she said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Thailand. She said, I just came from Thailand yesterday. She asked, why are you going to Thailand? And I said, well, I hate winter. It's coming up to winter. I want to go to the beach. And then I said, and I'm interested in Buddhist meditation. And she said, I know where there's a Buddhist meditation center on a tropical island with a view of the ocean in the Gulf of Thailand. I said, really? Yeah. Please write down the address. So for me, it's not just the sincere prayer. The sincere prayer was part of it. But I think the other part of it was the daily meditation practice for 2 years. So this really gave me a lot of confidence that this practice that we do, Lord Buddha explains the dana makes good karma, keeping ethical precepts makes good karma, but the mental cultivation, the bhavana, makes even more good karma than the dana and the sila. So in my experience of my life so far, is that when I practice sincerely to the extent that I can, then if ever I get stuck, whatever I need next presents itself. And this is, I believe, the result of the merit that the practice produces. So I did go to that center, and they had a really quite extraordinary, considering that it's another country. There was an Australian woman and her American husband who had studied Buddhism with several of Thailand's masters, and who were teaching retreats for backpackers in English. And they had a situation where you could stay with them, sit one retreat and serve one retreat, sit one retreat and serve one retreat. So I did. I sat 3 of their retreats and I served 3 retreats, and I stayed with them for 5 months. Then it was at that center that I was beginning to think, what am I going to do with my life? What am I still thinking at 21 now? What am I going to do with my life? Well, I like meditation. And a meditator joined the course, a German man. He's also a monk now. And he told me there's a meditation center in Ubon Ratchathani where it's a Western abbot, a Canadian man, and they teach in English, and they have a gradual training where you can keep 8 precepts first for 6 months, 10 precepts for 1 year, and then consider going forth as a bhikkhu. And then I thought, oh, well, I have to try, and because I can't see what else I'm going to do. And so once again, from the sincerity of sitting the retreats, serving at the retreats, by this stage meditating twice a day. I'd also done a Mahasi Sayadaw style retreat in Malaysia when I had to do a visa trip for about a month. Sit, walk, sit, walk, sit, walk, 12 hours a day for a month. So once again, making the good karma that comes from doing the practice sincerely. And I'm literally sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? Another interesting thing happened. My money ran out. My $1,000 ran out. And a friend who used to be my customer wrote a letter, and he said, I don't know what it is, but somehow I feel spiritually connected to you, and I just feel like I'd like to help you, and please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. I wrote back to him, I said, my money's run out. And he said, I'll give you $1,000. And he said, this is a gift. So someone who I just, as I said, I was a friendly and kind waiter, and he somehow touched him, And he said, I feel karmically connected to your spiritual evolution. So that was a surprise. That's the best tip I ever got for working in that restaurant. And so he sent the money, and I was able to stay on longer, and found my way to the International Forest Monastery that Ajahn Sumedho founded. And it was very interesting because in terms of who I was as a personality, I wouldn't choose to be a monk. You know, I was the singing guy, acting guy, going to the beach, going to the movies, the yoga guy. I guess in Sydney what you would call the touchy-feely people, the warm and fluffy, and also the beautiful people. So I go to Wat Nong Pah Pong. It's very strict. It's very strict. It's a 3 a.m. start to the day, and in those days more austere than it is now. Thailand has become stepping on sharp stones, and it was not a pleasant, not a very sensually gratifying experience for a young man who had had a lot of sensuality. So, but I had this feeling when I was there, even though there were many things I didn't like, I had this deep intuitive feeling is this is where you need to be, and this is what you need to be doing. And I saw many people coming to the monastery who wanted to become monks. I never had that feeling, I really want to be a monk, I really want to be a monk. And here I am, 23 years later. But many other people had that feeling, I want to be a monk, I want to be a monk. But my parent is unwell. I have a debt. I have a child. I'm putting my brother or sister through university. And so I would see person after person who really wanted to be a monk, who had some significant karmic obstruction, and I was left sitting there painfully aware that I didn't have a debt. My parents were okay. And the only thing that would stop me being a monk would be me. And I was aware that this could only be the result of past good karma, past prayers, to be sitting in that place at the age of 22 in a foreign country where they're teaching you in English, where they do their visa for you, where there's plenty of food. I recognized that it was an opportunity that I couldn't walk away from, and so I did commit to the training. 8 precepts for 6 months, 10 precepts for 1 year. Actually, I volunteered to be a novice for 18 months. I wasn't yet confident to be a bhikkhu, but after the extra 6 months, I did make that decision. So I spent 2 years in preparation and studying the rules and asking myself, are you really going to be able to keep all of these rules? And it's a lot of rules, 227. It's a lot of rules. But I can just see from the Vipassana retreat, actually people told me to do the Vipassana retreat as a waiter, wondering what I was going to do with my life. People said, there's this meditation retreat, you should do it. It's by donation, because I was broke. And okay, so I went and I did it. And then someone told me there's a meditation center in tropical island. And then in those days we couldn't do a Google search. I had to depend on prayer and luck, good karma. And then at the meditation center, somebody pointed me in the direction of Ubon Ratchathani. And so with the commitment to the sila and the commitment to the daily practice and the sincerity and the keeping on practicing, in my own experience, the merit of the practice helps you to meet what you need to meet next. And so as a one-pansa monk, Ajahn Pasanno and Ajahn Jayasaro were my teachers, and they're very good teachers. But I was what I would call rich in suffering. I had a special ability to suffer. And so I was thinking, as great as these Ajahns are, I need more help than this. And so I went to the Emerald Buddha in Bangkok, which is a famous place for making aspirational prayers. And I said, I really would like to be a monk for a long time, but I'm going to need more help than this. So if there is a great master in Thailand that I have a karmic affinity with, may I please meet that teacher? So I went off to the jungle I'd been a novice monk for 4 days, and no, sorry, it's the second time I went to the jungle. So, second time I went to the jungle, I'd already been a bhikkhu for a year, and there's this place on the border of Burma where Ajahn Siripanya is the abbot. There isn't even a village. Food is sent in. It's a large area of forest, and so I went in there 1 month before the community of Wat Pananachat, and Ajahn Anan visited during the time that I was there. It was the only time that he ever went there, and he came in with 5 of his own monks, and he came and spent about 6 days. And he said he was going to, in those days when I first met him, he's younger than I was now. He was quite fit. He was able to climb up the mountain and stay in the jungle in what we call the umbrella tent, the glot, on a bamboo. You have a bamboo bed, and you have an umbrella and a mosquito net, and that's it. That's your protection in the jungle, a jungle with tigers. And after 3 days, one of his Thai monks came and spoke to me and said, Ajahn Achalo used to be a Naga. Ajahn Achalo has a white and red coloured mind. Ajahn Achalo likes psychic powers. Ajahn Anan told me. What? Yeah, Ajahn Anan can read people's minds. I had a very interesting response. I thought, he didn't ask my permission. What's he doing reading my mind? And then I thought, do I really like psychic powers? As a very young monk, I didn't even know if I liked psychic powers. What are psychic powers? But I did notice, and I found it very interesting. And more impressive than that was when I asked him a question about my particular situation, was his answer. A very, very wise, a very, very compassionate answer that he gave me, because I used to feel a quality of nibbita. I used to feel so weary of the world I wanted to kill myself. Problem was, I did believe in rebirth, so I knew that if I did that, the situation would get worse. So it's like, can't do that. So I asked him, and I think Tan Ajahn Anan gave a different answer to what any of the Western monks would have given. And to this day, I'm so grateful, because he gave the perfect answer. And he said, some people, when they practice, sensitivity develops more quickly than equanimity. And says, so your experience is like you're in a house which is on fire. The house is burning, and you have nowhere to go, so you feel that you're on fire. And he said, actually, that's correct. That's correct. Dukkha is, conditions are suffering. It's a correct perception. He said, but if you can patiently endure with it, what will happen is that you will be able to separate, the mind will be able to separate from the experience of the fire. He said, the house is burning, but the mind will get more space and will be able to separate from that experience of a burning. And but the only way you cultivate that stronger quality of mindfulness and a sense of being able to separate from the pain of it all is through patient endurance. And then he said, and I was just the same when I was your age, which I doubt, actually. I doubt it, but it was nice of him to say that. So I think other Western monks would have said, well, if you really want to kill yourself, maybe you need some help, maybe we need to think about medication. The Tan Ajahn Anan was able to say, yeah, that's the way it is, kid, and it's exactly how it should be. Don't give up, keep going. And I asked him, do you think I'm trainable? Because I had a lot of doubts. And he says, you have merit. And that was very, very helpful for someone like Ajahn Anan to tell you that you had merit at a time when I was not feeling very confident. So then I asked him, may I come and practice with you? And he said, yes, you may. And so in my next retreat I spent with him, and I told the story earlier today, when I was getting some good results, but then getting a lot of willfulness and having some ups and then some downs, and he gave me some instructions about a longer term strategy. But just looking back on the various influences that I've met and how those influences have helped me to take the next steps in my practice, and how grateful I am to that. But the reason I share my story is to illustrate the point that if we practice sincerely with what we have, then we will progress on this path, because it's all karma. The Eightfold Path is a karmic path, and it leads us to a state that will be beyond karma. It's working with conditions that lead to the unconditioned. But as far as conditions go, these are the set of conditions that produce the merit that will cause your spiritual practice to evolve. It is a path that leads onwards. It does lead to heaven and beyond. And so I wanted to encourage people to recognize their good fortune, and also have faith in the practice itself. It's like having faith in Dhamma, having faith in the practice of Dhamma, having faith in the value of your efforts, and understanding that the experience of being frustrated, having obstructions, not feeling like you're progressing, that's normal. And the thing is, we can't see where we've come from, and we can't see how far we've come, but actually we've probably come a long way already. And the point is, we just keep going, one step at a time, and don't give up, and trust your potential, and trust the Dhamma to help you purify your mind and realize your potential, and trust that as long as you're sincere, whatever it is that you need will come in time. So I offer that for your reflection.
जो बात पहले जहाँ से शुरू थी अपने अनुभवों से, उसी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए बंदे जी में बता रहे हैं कि एक जो मुख्य भेद भगवान की टीचिंग में है कि हम किसी और पे निर्भर नहीं रहते, एक ईश्वर की सहायता पे निर्भर नहीं है, हम अपने स्वतः मालिक हैं। भगवान की टीचिंग से हमें ऐसे टूल्स दिए जाते हैं जिससे कि हम अपना और उसी हिसाब से इसी के लिए एक जो हमारी कर्म सिद्धांत को समझने की बात है, उससे भी अगर हम ठीक से समझते हैं तो समझ में आता है कि अगर कुशल कर्म करेंगे तो उससे प्रगति होगी, और कुशल कर्म करेंगे तो अवनति होगी। और ये बात समझ में आती है तो हमको ये एक तरह से प्रेरित करता है कि हम दान, शील और भावना की तरफ बढ़ें, ताकि हमारे कर्म अच्छे हों, और फिर अच्छे कर्मों के आधार पर हमारी प्रगति भी अच्छी हो। तो जो वो बार बार ये कहते थे, उनकी जो दैनिक साधना की निरंतरता थी, उसके कारण ही जो उन्होंने कुशल कर्म किया, उसी कुशल कर्म के फल हेतु उनको ये सब जगह पे सहायताएं, उचित समय पे उचित सहायताएं मिलती रही। उस बात को बताते हुए बता रहे हैं कि वो एक रेस्टोरेंट में काम करते थे, वेगन रेस्टोरेंट में, लेकर वहाँ पे काफ़ी अच्छी व्यवहार था उनका, तो सब लोग समझते थे कि वो बहुत प्रसन्न रहते हैं, एक हैप्पी यंग मैन है। लेकिन जब वो अपने अपार्टमेंट में वापस जाते थे तो उनको लगता था कि ऐसा बात नहीं है, मैं बहुत परेशान रहता हूँ। और एक दिन उन्होंने बड़े भाव से हालांकि वो ईश्वर में विश्वास नहीं करते थे, लेकिन एंजल्स में विश्वास करते थे, तो उन्होंने एक प्रार्थना की कि मुझे मालूम नहीं है कि किस तरह से मैं प्रसन्न रह सकूं सचमुच में, तो अगर मुझे दैवी शक्ति से कोई एक ऐसा कुछ सिंगल साइंस मिल जाए, कुछ एक ऐसे निमित्त आ जाए जिससे कि मैं समझ सकूं कि ये मुझे करना है, तो मैं प्रण करता के सिग्नल आए। और के रेस्टोरेंट में कोई महिला आई थी तो वो अपनी किताब भूल गई, जिसमें लोनली प्लैनेट गाइड जो होती है उसमें थाईलैंड के बारे वो किताब थी, तो उन्होंने देखा ये थाईलैंड क्या है, तो पता चला कि बुद्धिस्ट कंट्री है। उसके बाद फिर कुछ दिनों बाद जब उनकी तनख्वाह दी गई तो उसमें कैश के साथ एक सिक्का था जो थाई बात था, तो उनको लगा ये बड़ी स्ट्रेंज बात है कि उसमें भी थाईलैंड की बात हुई। और फिर उनके जो फ्राइंग का इंस्ट्रूमेंट वो यूज़ करते थे वहाँ रेस्टोरेंट में, उस पर पाइप लगा हुआ था, उस पाइप पे भी लिखा हुआ था कि थाईलैंड लिखा हुआ था। तो इन सब चीज़ों को देख के उन्हें लगा कि यही मेरे को साइन दे रहा है कि मुझे थाईलैंड जाना चाहिए, और वो अपना उन्होंने निश्चय किया कि मैं 10 हफ्ते के अंदर अंदर ही सारा अरेंजमेंट करके चला जाऊंगा। तो उन्होंने जो भी उनके पास पैसा उपलब्ध था उससे वीसा, पासपोर्ट वीसा वगैरह लिया, और फिर पैसा समाप्त होने पे जो कुछ भी उनके पास था, घर में सामान था, सब बेच के करीब $1000 ऑस्ट्रेलियन डॉलर उनके पास मिले, और वो फिर उसको लेके चले गए। और वहाँ जाके वहाँ पता किया कि वहाँ एक ने उनको बताया, जहाँ पहुँचे तो कि एक बुद्धिस्ट मेडिटेशन सेंटर है एक, और उनका 4 दिन पहले, जाने से 4 दिन पहले ही एक ग्राहक आया और उन्होंने बताया कि कहाँ जा रहे हो, तो उन्होंने कहा होगा कि मैं थाईलैंड जा रहा हूँ। तो समझ अच्छा, तो वहाँ पे मैं एक बुद्धिस्ट सीखने जा रहा, मेडिटेशन चाहता हूँ। तो उस ग्राहक ने उन्हें बताया कि ऐसी ऐसी जगह पे एक मेडिटेशन सेंटर है, और वो वहाँ पहुँच गए थाईलैंड जाके, और वहाँ पे अभ्यास किया कुछ महीने। वहाँ पे कुछ विदेशी लोग थे जो सिखाते थे, और वहाँ पे एक रिट्रीट करते थे, और फिर एक रिट्रीट में सेवा देते थे। इस तरह से 5 महीने वो वहाँ पे रहे। और लेकिन उस दौरान भी उनके मन में ही रहा कि मैं क्या करना चाहिए, मुझे अपने जीवन में क्या करना है। तो इसी जब ये सोच ही रहे थे, तो एक वहाँ पे कोई जर्मन आए थे साधना के लिए, तो उन्होंने कहा कि तुमको उबान जाना चाहिए, वहाँ पे एक मेडिटेशन सेंटर है। उबान में एक विदेशी वेस्टर्न ही अबोट है, एक मोनास्ट्री है, जहाँ पे वो एक ग्रेजुएटेड टीचिंग देते हैं, और धीरे धीरे आपको भिक्खु बनने की तरफ प्रेरित करते हैं। तो फिर वही उनको लगा कि क्योंकि साधना सिंसियरिटी थी, उनके मन में एक दृढ़ विश्वास था, उसी कारण ही अपने आप एक सहायता मिल गई, और वो उबान गए वहाँ जाके। और वहाँ जा रहे थे तो दिक्कत हुई कि सारा पैसा उनका फिर खत्म हो चुका था, और संयोग से उनका एक जो ग्राहक ऑस्ट्रेलिया में था, उसका उनका पत्र आया कि मुझे संभव लगता है कि मैं तुम्हारी मदद करनी चाहिए, तुम मेरे बहुत कार्मिक में कनेक्शन लगता है। और उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ मेरे पैसे समाप्त हो गए हैं, तो उन्होंने फिर उनको $1000 भेज रहे हैं। तो ये सब बातें इसलिए बता रहे हैं कि हमारी सिंसियरिटी से और हमारी जो दान और शील की भावना से, धर्म के अनुरूप काम करने से हमारी सहायता प्राकृतिक रूप से सहायता होती रहती है। और इस सब दृष्टांत से वो बताते हैं कि वो अल्टीमेटली वाट पर नाना तक पहुंचे, और वहां जाके, हालांकि वहां पे जीवन बहुत austere था, सुबह 3 बजे उठना, फिर चैंटिंग करना, फिर पिंडपात के लिए जाना, और पैदल चलना नंगे पैर, और अजान के बाउल उठा कर लेना जो काफी भारी, तो मतलब वो सब काफी कठिनाई वाली बात होती थी, कष्टदायक थी, लेकिन फिर भी उनको अंतर से इंट्यूटिवली लगता था कि यही है जो मुझे करना चाहिए। और वहाँ पे कोई देखा उन्होंने कि बहुत लोग आते थे कि हम भिक्षु बनना चाहते हैं, लेकिन हमारी ये अब बाधा है कि बच्चे हैं, कि कुछ कर्जा है, फैमिली है। तो उनको विचार आया कि मेरे पास तो कोई ना कर्जा है, ना कोई फैमिली के ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन है, ना ही बच्चे हैं, तो मुझे सचमुच में अच्छे कर्म है जो मैं आया हूँ यहाँ पे, और मुझे इसका लाभ लेना चाहिए। और इस तरह फिर वो धीरे धीरे वहाँ पे उन्होंने पहले सामनेरा का ऑर्डिनेशन लिया, और इस तरह 2 साल की प्रिपरेशन के बाद जो भिक्षु का फुल भिक्षु का ऑर्डिनेशन लिया। और वहाँ पे अजान पसन्नो, अजान जयसरो वहाँ पे एक उपलब्ध थे, बहुत अच्छे और सक्षम टीचर हैं। लेकिन उन्होंने देखा कि उनको लगता था अजान को कि मुझे और मदद की चाहिए इससे ज़्यादा। तो वो बैंकॉक गए। बैंकॉक में जो एमरल्ड बुद्धा का टेम्पल है जो किंग का, वहाँ पे जाके उन्होंने फिर प्रार्थना की कि मुझे और मदद चाहिए, तो मुझे एक ऐसा टीचर मिलना चाहिए जिससे कि मैं और मेरी मदद कर सके। और ये इसके तुरंत बाद फिर वो बर्मा के बॉर्डर के पास जो एक विहार है वहाँ गए जहाँ अजान श्रीपन्यो थे। तो वहाँ पे अजान अनन आए थे कुछ समय के लिए, उनसे उनका मिलना हुआ, और उनके मिलने के बाद उनको काफ़ी एक उनके अजान अनन के डिसाइपल उनके पास आए, और उन्होंने कहा कि आप पिछले जन्म में नागलोक में थे, और ये अजान अनन ने मुझे बताया है, क्योंकि उनकी साइकिक पावर्स हैं। तो अजान बताते हैं कि मेरी उसमें कोई रुचि नहीं थी, लेकिन मुझे लगा कि एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ है। तो मैंने फिर उनको बताया कि मैं काफ़ी निर्वेद भाव महसूस करता हूँ सचमुच में मुझे, क्योंकि रीबर्थ का प्रिंसिपल मालूम है, इसलिए मैं आत्महत्या नहीं कर रहा, क्योंकि मालूम है उससे फ़ायदा नहीं होगा, लेकिन मैं सचमुच में काफ़ी परेशान हूँ। तो फिर अजान अनन से मिलना हुआ, और उन्होंने बताया कि कुछ लोगों को सेंसिटिविटी ज़्यादा होती है और उतनी क्षमता नहीं होती, प्रेखा भाव नहीं होता, तो उससे ऐसा लगता है कि जिस ऐसी परिस्थिति जैसी लगती है जैसे कि किसी जलते हुए घर में कोई रह रहा है, एक शांति रखें और प्रतीक्षा का भाव करें, पेशेंस रखें, धैर्य करें। ऐसा ही, और जब ये उसको पेशेंट एंड्योर करेंगे तो मन जो है उस अनुभव से, जलने के अनुभव से अलग महसूस होने लगेगा। और अजान आनंद ने कहा कि मैं भी जब तुम्हारी उम्र का था मैं भी ऐसा ही था। तो इस बात से उनको और कहा, प्रेरित किया कि आप हिम्मत मत हारो और साधना करते रहो। और फिर उन्होंने उनको प्रेरणा दी और उस प्रेरणा से प्रेरित हो गए। इन्होंने उनसे पूछा कि क्या मैं आपके साथ साधना कर सकता हूँ, तो उन्होंने उन्हें अनुमति दी और फिर वह अजान आनंद के पास साधना करने गए। तो इस बात का, सारी बात का बताने का उनका तात्पर्य ये है, वो कहते हैं कि किस तरह से यदि हम सिंसियरिटी से और साधना करते हैं और रेगुलरली साधना करते हैं, दान, शील और भावना का अभ्यास करते हैं, तो जो प्रकृति है वो हमारे कर्म के अनुसार ये एक कुशल कर्म करते हैं, कुशल, और उन कुशल कर्मों के फल के स्वरूप प्रकृति हमको एक उचित समय पे उचित गाइडेंस अपने आप दे देती है। और ये बात इसलिए महत्वपूर्ण है कि कई बार हमारी साधना में हमारे डिफिकल्टी एक एक स्टेप आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे। हम ये समझें कि हमारा एक
That's the end of my talk.
So, you should pay respects. Let's chant the Anumodana. Handmayang Dhamma Kathaya Sadhukaram Dudama Se Sadhu 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 Anumodami. Questions? So, यदि प्रश्न पूछने हो तो you can ask questions.
How do we
Dukkha and anatta. So if there's a strong feeling of self that thinks it's wise, it's not seeing, not self. So 3 characteristics: impermanence, unsatisfactory, not self. That's real wisdom.
I have one more question. It's a practice, I guess, that's not affiliated with Theravada Buddhism, but Ajahn Sumedho talks about it quite a lot. He calls it sound of silence. So do you have any experience with that?
Interestingly, I've sat meditation retreats with Ajahn Sumedho, and when I'm sitting with Ajahn Sumedho, I can do sound of silence. I think the silence emanating from his mind is so loud that I can tap into it. But breath meditation is my main practice. So, from what I gather, it's I don't think that was his practice in his beginning years, and I know that he was trying to get his jhanas, doing his body his teaching. So he over the years, and the mindfulness diligently, consistently, and the mindfulness gets stronger and the sense of awareness gets bigger, and so then it becomes possible to take the awareness as the object. And so at the beginning we have to place the awareness on place the mindfulness on the object, place the mindfulness on the object, and you'll find after a lot of practice that you're able to rest in the awareness that knows the object. And then as the mindfulness gets better and better and stronger, you're able to rest in the awareness as the object and watch other things arise and cease, arise and cease, and rise and cease, and not pick them up. So I think that's how Ajahn Sumedho's practice has progressed, which is not surprising because it's 5 decades of very diligent practice. And so there are some similarities to what the Vajrayana 100,000 everything else. In Theravada we do 100,000 frustrations. And I think when awareness becomes a very, very palpable presence, obviously to Ajahn Sumedho that has a sound. It's like the empty space within which everything else arises and ceases, and he can hear it as a sound of silence. I also know from living at Amaravati for periods of time, I lived there twice, once for 9 months and once for 6 months, that a lot of the junior monks can't do it. So Ajahn Sumedho keeps saying, this is the correct practice, because he knows from his own experience that it really is. However, if a person's spiritual faculties aren't yet mature, it seems to be a too sophisticated practice for beginners to be able to do. So
कई बार जो भ्रम है वो भी एक प्रज्ञा के रूप में दिखाई देता है, तो कैसे हम पता चले कि हमें भ्रम है कि प्रज्ञा है? तो बंते जी ने उत्तर दिया कि जो अनित्य, दुख, अनात्ता के 3 लक्षण हैं, अगर वो 3 लक्षण हमारी समझ में आए हैं और हमारे अनुभव में है तो वो प्रज्ञा है, अगर नहीं है तो वो भ्रम ही होगा। फिर दूसरा प्रश्न पूछा कि अजान सुमेधो साउंड ऑफ साइलेंस के बारे में बात करते हैं, जो कि हमारे थेरवादा ट्रेडिशन में नहीं है, उसके बारे में आप कुछ बताएंगे? तो अजान ने बताया कि मैंने उनके साथ रिट्रीट्स की हैं और जब भी मैं उनके साथ बैठता हूं तब तो सुनाई देता है, लेकिन बाद में नहीं महसूस होता। तो ये उनको लगा कि उनके बारे में क्या उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन है वो तो वही बताएंगे, लेकिन जो अजान का इंटरप्रिटेशन उसके बारे में वो उन्होंने समझाया कि जब अजान सुमेधो यंग मंक थे तो उन्होंने बहुत गहन साधना की थी ध्यान के लिए, और माइंड वही हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट बन जाता है, और उस तरह से वो उनका अभ्यास बहुत लंबा है, 52 साल का उनका अभ्यास है। तो सोचता है कि वो उनको उस तरह से वो सती को ही अपना ऑब्जेक्ट बन जाता है। वो बता रहे हैं कि इसकी काफ़ी सिमिलैरिटी महामुद्रा और जॉग्जन प्रैक्टिस से है, जो कि काफ़ी एडवांस प्रैक्टिस मानी जाती हैं, जहाँ पे कि 1 लाख स्टेशंस रहती हैं और उसके ऊपर भी संयोग से उसके रिजल्ट एक जैसे ही होते हैं। तो बता रहे हैं कि वो जब अमरावती में रहते थे वो देखते थे कि काफ़ी जो जूनियर मॉन्क्स थे उनसे वो नहीं हो पाता था, और क्योंकि उनके लिए काफ़ी सोफिस्टिकेटेड प्रैक्टिस महसूस होती है। लेकिन वो कहते हैं कि इसका आधिकारिक उत्तर तो अजान सुमेधो से लेना चाहिए।
So my question is, so sometimes I can have an awareness that's very narrow on an object, and sometimes towards samatha and one towards vipassana, or which is better to kind of pursue?
I'm not sure, because I don't have your mind. But what I can tell you is, in my experience of meditating in the first few years, is that when I would have some peaceful feeling, it seemed to be in that space, the peaceful very cool, very pleasant. But over the years, the peacefulness became like that. So it's still centered in that area. That's where the mind gathers and collects and feels very peaceful, but it's a much more spacious experience of peace. So I think these things mature over time as well. And so in a kind of a spacious, a larger, spacious peacefulness, there is also some awareness of the feelings in the bodies, and as well as the refined awareness of the breath. There's other things included in the awareness, and sounds and things, but the mind can be very peaceful. So I think it closely, and also with vipassana, in terms of feelings, you have to be looking very closely at those feelings, and it might just be the case that as we have to work with the mind, and we have to lay the conditions, but it might just be the case that sometimes it's more spacious and sometimes it's more, and that's okay. It's Ajahn Chah, I like the analogy that he gives in terms of how we're training the mind. He says it's like, he has these great earthy and practical metaphors. So in northeast Thailand, there's these chicken coops which are kind of shaped like a dome, and they're made out of rattan, and so you put it over your chicken. And he said skillful meditation is like that. And it'll sit down in its own time. But as long as it's within that, you don't let it fly away. So it's sometimes it's a bit more spacious, sometimes it's sitting, and it's okay. So personally, I found that metaphor helpful. He has other great metaphors as well, like when we get contentious with reality. Why is it like this? Why isn't it like that? And he makes these sense of like, yeah, well, we want a dog to be a cat, and we want a chicken to be a duck. But the problem is, dog's a dog, cat's a cat, chicken's a chicken, and duck's a duck. So we just accept the duck as a duck, and the chicken as a chicken, and a dog as a dog, and a cat as a cat. Then we'll suffer much less. But if we want the dog to be a cat, we suffer.
आपका प्रश्न था कि कभी-कभी हमारी सजगता सती जो है पुष्ट होती है, कई बार भी नहीं होती, कई बार मन के बारे में, शरीर के बारे में, सांस के बारे में सब कुछ मालूम होता रहता है, तो उसमें से क्या उचित रहेगा, समथ या विपස්සना क्या उचित रहेगा? तो बंती जी ने उत्तर दिया कि मैं निश्चित तौर पर कुछ नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि आपके मन की स्थिति को मैं नहीं भांप सकता, लेकिन वो अपने अनुभव से बता रहे हैं कि जो इस शांति का अनुभव है वो पहले एक कॉन्स्ट्रिक्ट छोटे से एरिया में हार्ट में महसूस होता है, और धीरे धीरे साधना के अभ्यास से वो और स्पेशियस फीलिंग रहती है, और स्पेशियस अवेयरनेस के अंदर जो भी हो रहा है शरीर में, मन में, बुद्धि में, सब कुछ हम महसूस कर सकते हैं, और हमारी एक बेसिक ग्राउंड लेवल ऑफ ट्रैंक्विलिटी बनी रहती है। उसके लिए उन्होंने कहा कि अजान चाह का एक अच्छा मेटाफर देते हैं इसके लिए कि जैसे एक मुर्गी को किसी एक बाड़े में रख दें, तो ऐसा नहीं कि मुर्गी बिल्कुल बैठी हुई हो, इधर उधर घूम सकती है, लेकिन उस बाड़े के अंदर अंदर ही रहेगी। तो इसी तरह से हम अपनी अवेयरनेस को एक लिमिटेड एरिया में रख दें तो ठीक वो इधर उधर नहीं जाती है। एक और उदाहरण दिया, कई बार हमको जो जैसा है उसको हमको एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते, तो अजान चाह कहा करते थे कि वो ऐसी बात है जैसे कि हम किसी कुत्ते को देख रहे हैं और चाहते हैं कि वो बिल्ली हो जाए, या मुर्गी को देख रहे हैं चाहते हैं कि वो बतख हो जाए। तो अगर हम समझ लें कि ये कुत्ता है और ये कुत्ता ही रहेगा, और बिल्ली है तो बिल्ली ही रहेगी, तो परेशानी नहीं होगी। अगर हम चाहें कि कुत्ता बिल्ली बन जाए तो फिर परेशानी रहेगी। तात्पर्य यही है कि जो रियलिटी है अगर उसको हम एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे तो हमेशा बेचैनी बनी रहती है।
So, Ajahn, in today's meditation, one of the things we learned was when we contemplated our hairs, teeth and nails, and then this was more of focusing on the earth element. the solid element. Maybe if you can spread a slight meditation method for other dhatus also, it will help us in our meditation.
I think it's okay to work with just the one first, and then get some practice at. I think teeth is easy. Hair and teeth and nails are easy because you can see them. And you look at them in the mirror. You get a clear sense. We can see that it's not part of the flesh. It's definitely hard and dry. And but then traditionally they go through. In the Burmese traditions, they go through the list of the 32 parts, and so you'll find the blood, pus, tears, sweat. That's the water, and flesh is interesting. Muscles are interesting because it's earth and water kind of together. But adept meditators can separate the earth element part of the flesh from the blood, and see it as an earth element. So. In Thai tradition, it's less systematic. It's more, from what I've heard from my own teachers, it's more, they'll do some investigation and they'll find the part that it's most easy for them to hold in awareness. And then they'll just work with that and just bang away at it until they have an insight into its not-self nature. So they don't go through it as a system particularly. It's like, if they can hold the teeth in awareness, I'll work with teeth. And then once they've seen the develops like really well, people can be aware of the skeleton while they're walking. So it's mindfulness of earth element in the body, and they will see it in their mind's eye, actually see the skeleton while they're walking and talking. And but then once a person has stabilized the asubha nimitta to that extent, then they then visualize the disintegration of it, and down to dust, and then down to being blown away. So it's not necessarily the case that you have to go through every single part and see the not-self aspect of every part. You just need to see it of one part, and then you will see it in the whole, because it all has the same characteristic. So, but in terms of doing some experimenting, I think blood is a fairly kind of easy. We know what blood is. We see it when we cut ourselves. We have about 7 liters of it. You can feel your heart pumping it around your body. So, if you want to experiment with, for myself, it's either teeth or blood. That just seems to be what my mind can pick up fairly easily and stay with that perception for some time. So,
आपने प्रश्न पूछा कि आज हमने जो साधना सीखी थी, जिसमें पृथ्वी धातु, पृथ्वी धातु का कंटेम्पलेशन किया था, दांत, बाल और नाखून के ऊपर से फोकस करके, तो चाहते थे कि क्या इसी तरह से हम दूसरी धातुओं पे भी, वायु, अग्नि, जल पे भी कर सकते हैं। तो बंते जी बता रहे हैं कि हमारे ट्रेडिशन में एक धातु को ही कंटेम्पलेशन ज्यादा करके उसको उस हद तक ले जाते हैं कि जो बर्मीज ट्रेडिशन है उसमें 32 पार्ट्स की पूरी स्टडी करते हैं, एक करके पहले पृथ्वी धातु, फिर वायु, जल धातु, और फिर इसी तरह से बाकियों पे भी। तो बता रहे थे जैसे ब्लड है, पस है, आंसू हैं, पसीना है, उसमें वायु, जल धातु, आपो धातु की बात करते हैं। कई जगह मिश्रण भी होता है, जैसे जो मांस है उसमें अग्नि, उसमें पृथ्वी धातु और आपो धातु भी रहती है। लेकिन हमारे थाई ट्रेडिशन में हम लोग एक को पकड़ के तब तक उसको करते हैं, और अगर उसको भावना करते हैं एक, जैसे दांत को लेके पृथ्वी धातु की, तो धीरे धीरे जब भावना पुष्ट होती है तो सब जगह जितनी भी पृथ्वी धातु के स्पष्ट उदाहरण है उनकी ओर ध्यान देते हैं। तो ऐसी इतने भी समाधि इतनी पुष्ट हो जाती है कि आदमी चलते फिरते भी अपना स्केलेटन महसूस कर सकता है। यही अधिकतर पृथ्वी और आपो धातु पे ही काम करता हूँ।
Do you do dedication of merits, chant? You have that one? We have one more opportunity tomorrow evening. Dhamma talk and questions and answers. Indians are very good at asking questions. So we ask Malaysians any questions, silence. Ask Thais any questions, silence. You put a box in the corner, please write your question, it's full. Very shy. They don't want to lose face. They don't want to appear stupid. It's good. It's good to have a interest in your spiritual progress. Very good. So, you do it in Hindi or?
You can do it in Pali.
In Pali, okay. In the Imina chanting can.
ये हिंदी में 30 पेज पे, पेज नंबर 30, इमेना पुण्य कम्मेना। I should read it or you would like to? अन्मयं उद्देशान अधिष्ठान गाथायो भनामासे इमिना पुण्य कम्मेन उपज्जाया गुणोत्तरा आचार्य उपकारा च माता पिता च ज्ञातका सूर्यो चंद्रिमा राजा गुणवंता नरापि च ब्रह्ममारा च इंद्र च लोकपाला च देवता यमो मित्ता मनुष्या च मज्जता वेरिकापि च सब्बे सत्ता सुखी होन्तु पुण्यानि पकटानि मे सुखञ्चित विधम देन्तु क्षिप्पं पापेथ वो मतम् इमिना पुण्य कम्मेन इमिना उद्देश्येन च क्षिप्पाहं सुलभे चैव तन्हुपादान छेदनं ये संताने हीना धम्मा याव निब्बानतो ममम् न सन्तु सब्बदा एव यथा जातो भवे भवे उजुचितं सती पन्या सल्लेखो विर्यामहिना मारा लभन्तु नोकासं कातुञ्च वीर्येषु मे बुद्धादिपवरो नाथो धम्मो नाथो वरुत्तमो नाथो पच्चेक बुद्धो च संघो नाथोत्तरोन्ममं तेषोत्तमान् अनुभावेन मारोकासं लभन्तु मा।